Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live. It's America's longest running talk show on computers. It's Computer America, bringing you the biggest names in technology with guest interviews, new products, and your emails. Listen live at computeramerica.com on any device around the world. Email the show at live@computeramerica.com or find us on social media. Be sure to check out our website for contests, giveaways, show notes, live video stream, podcasts, and more. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. We are the nation's longest running talk show on computers and technology. And I'm your host, Ben Crossman. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. And, you know, we can make it a little bit better here with Computer America. Now, first things first, of course, we have Sandy Berger, the one, the only Computer America correspondent for consumer technology. She is an expert in the field, does a lot of reviews, and is just very, very well versed in being able to separate the. One second, I'm sorry, folks. Okay, there we go. So, sorry about that, but yeah, she's very good at doing what she is able to do. So, with that being said, let's see. All right, so yeah, and with that being said, we're going to join her to talk about her new review on Amazon Look and the like. So so one thing I need to mention. Sorry, a little distracted here, obviously, but one thing I need to mention here is, of course, ComputerAmerica.com, and that's where you will find anything and everything for the show, including show notes, which will have links to, let's say, the article, for example, that Sandy wrote about the Amazon Look, or link to Compukiss, which is her website, or link to any articles or videos that we show, anything and everything, ComputerAmerica.com. Next, you can find it. You can also find at ComputerAmerica.com the live video stream where you can watch Computer America and not just listen. And last, we have a contest, which we will pick a new winner this Friday. So enjoy. And of course, that and articles and reviews and many, many more things at ComputerAmerica.com. It's just everything that we do here at the show will be listed there at Computer America. All right, now with that being said, let's just bring in Sandy Berger here with us as we jump into our show. And so once again, Sandy Berger, she writes for a lot of different publications, including Hardware Secrets and, of course, her own website, Compukiss.com. So Sandy, welcome on to Computer America.
Thanks, Ben. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And yeah, so of course, you know, we have a lot of things to talk about, and I think you really wanted to take this show to really focus in on some of Amazon's, I'm going to say lesser known products, but that's like saying, you know, the lesser known, I don't know.
Only because they're new.
Right, yeah. I mean, so, and of course we had Amazon Prime Deal Day or whatever that was, and, you know, like everything that we're going to talk about here today, but, you know, specifically the Echo and the Dot were huge sellers this year at during the Prime Day. What do you think about that?
Well, they said that the sales, and this is an estimate from not from Amazon but from someone else, that the sales of the Echo products were up 300% over last year. Wow. For the Prime Day. So I think they were selling like hotcakes, and it's because the prices were dramatically reduced. The full Amazon Echo that's currently selling for $179 yesterday was like $89. So, and the Echo Dot was $35. Yeah. So I think you can still get some of that today, but the point is that the sales were really good on Amazon products, and everybody took advantage of it.
Absolutely, and it's just it's just the start of the digital assistant coming into, or really, I guess these are more smart speakers coming into people's homes, and they're starting to see value. And let's face it, you know, a large chunk of people, they're going to get theirs in a couple of days, and it's going to be their first introduction. So I thought today would be good to not only talk about digital assistants and smart speakers, But of course, things like Echo Look and Echo, I think it's like
Show.
Watch, Show. That's it, not Watch. Echo Show, and it's because if you have, let's say you have an Echo or you have, one of the other products, is someone still, should they still be interested in maybe checking out the Look, or is one replaceable by the other?
In a way, they are replaceable because the Amazon Look and the Amazon Show do everything that the regular Amazon Echo does. However, the two products that are brand new are products that are kind of specific to your needs. So I would suggest that if somebody's just getting into it, of course, start with the Amazon Dot at $35 to $50.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer to start there and see if you like it or not. Then you can move up to any of the other ones, the Look, the Show, or the Echo itself. You can move up to those and have them in different rooms of the house, which makes it more convenient, especially if you're going to get into things like turning your lights on and off, your thermostat, the Ring doorbell, all that stuff that can be controlled by the Echoes.
Right, because these things do not exist in a vacuum. They are meant to, and they will continue to play nicely with as many devices as I'm sure that they can support. So, but like I said, before we get into all of this, and I know we kind of jumped the gun because, well, these things are new. They're exciting. They're, fun technology. But before we do that, we have, of course, something to mention, and that is the Internet Day of Protest. And if you have, and if you, the listener, has been to really any of your favorite websites, I know that a lot of them are holding some kind of event showing, pushing you to a website that would describe what's happening with net neutrality and the FCC and things like that. Well, everyone pushed for July 12th to be the Internet Day of Protest. So it'll be gone by tomorrow. If you find this supremely annoying, well, there you have it. But I think today would be a good day to do a quick refresher for anyone, because we've talked about this here on the show before, but it's still very important. So, and, instead of using my own words to try to rehash this issue, because I tend to pontificate a little bit too much, there is a video I found that, is about 6 minutes long. We're going to play it here on the show, and, and it's totally meant to be shared, so everything like that. But it's by a very, very famous YouTuber, and Total Biscuit. He is one of the biggest YouTubers out there, but he took 6 minutes and really explained the, what's at stake here with net neutrality. So we're going to play this, and then we'll come back, and we're going to sum it up in like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we're going to jump into the Amazon Look and Amazon products with Sandy Berger. So with that being said, here we go. This is, again, Total Biscuit, and yeah, it's net neutrality explained. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Bain, directly with firms such as Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Bain. You know this is serious if I'm using my real name. In 2014, I produced a short video on the importance of net neutrality. The fact that I'm having to talk about this again in 2017 is frankly ridiculous. But unfortunately, the FCC in the United States is in the process of attempting to once again abolish net neutrality. They're doing it with the unbelievably dishonestly named Restoring Internet Freedom Act. Unsurprisingly, to a lot of you, you will probably realize that that act does the exact opposite of what it claims. This very short video is to give you a quick primer on what net neutrality is, and to explain it to those who don't understand it, and to be shared with perhaps friends, family members, and colleagues that are also not aware of why this is a problem. Net neutrality is the concept that all traffic on the internet should be treated equally. At the moment, the concept of net neutrality is protected under the so-called Title II designation, meaning that it is classified as a utility. That means it's similar to something like water or electricity. You can only charge for the resource used. You can't charge extra for what it is used for. You can't charge a premium if you decide to pour water into a glass and drink it, versus using it to water your plants. That is obviously ridiculous. And yet, abolition of net neutrality would allow for just that. The only people that the abolition of net neutrality benefits are the ISPs, large corporations that stand to gain financially and, of course, constrict and strangle their competition. Large internet service providers in the United States, such as Spectrum, formerly known as Time Warner, also own video streaming services, which compete directly with firms such as Netflix and Hulu. If net neutrality were abolished, these firms would be able to slow down their competition to the point of making them unusable, forcing their customers to instead use the Spectrum-owned service. This is anti-competitive, it is monopolistic, and it is against the principles of the free market. It is universally bad for you, the consumer. There is absolutely no upside to this whatsoever. Were net neutrality provisions repealed in the United States, internet service providers would have the ability to charge you extra to access your favorite websites. If you chose not to do so, they could slow them down to a crawl. If that wasn't reason enough to support net neutrality, think about the wider implications. Slowing down and crippling access to websites can be used as a tool to suppress free speech. It can be used as a tool to manipulate public perception. It can be used as a tool to hamstring criticism of corporate interests. The abolition of net neutrality can quite literally be used as a tool to undermine democracy. Many political issues are complex, nuanced, and there is often not a simple right answer. There is no easy right or wrong. There is no black and white. There are no opposing teams here. Whether you lean left or right, up or down, it doesn't matter. The abolition of net neutrality is a net negative for every consumer there is. The only people to benefit from this are internet service providers. There is credible evidence to suggest that the abolition of net neutrality in any country, the United States or otherwise, can and will most likely result in that country falling behind in terms of its competitiveness on the world stage, whether it be economic growth, fighting unemployment, or technological innovation. These are all things that will suffer with the abolition of net neutrality. Regardless of your political orientation, unless you happen to be the CEO of a large ISP, you will suffer if net neutrality is abolished. Over the last few months, the large corporations that do oppose net neutrality have been ramping up the propaganda, astroturfing, and shilling efforts. During the FCC's public consultation period, the website was flooded with identical comments accompanied by obviously fake names. The FCC received over 128,000 identical anti-net neutrality comments. While it is entirely possible that some people have been misled into believing that the Restoring Internet Freedom Act actually does that thing, the vast majority of these comments were posted by bots. Comcast attempted to aggressively shut down the site ComcastAstroturf.com with a cease and desist order. Make no mistake about it, these large corporations are actively fighting to take away your rights, to take away your freedom, to inconvenience you, and to charge you more money for the same service you are currently getting now. This is not a partisan issue. This is an issue of consumers versus malicious corporate interests. July the 12th is the Net Neutrality Day of Action, and yes, there are things that you can do to help. I've included a list of links in the description below this video, which includes sources that back up everything I've said today, as well as methods to easily contact US Congress members and the FCC. Make no mistake about it, folks, this is a battle for the future of the internet as we know it. I've turned off ads and monetization on this video so that I can, in all good conscience, tell you to share this with as many people as possible. Regardless of whether or not you live in the United States or you don't, this is going to be an issue for you one way or the other. It's important to raise awareness, it's important to educate, and it is important that the astroturfing efforts and dishonest behavior of major corporate ISPs are not left unanswered. Ladies and gentlemen.
And we'll leave it right there. And thank you for listening to that. That was, again, not something that we, that we are getting paid for or anything like that. I think it just very, very accurately and succinctly summed up net neutrality and all that good stuff. So, on today of all days, just had to get that in there. And if you want to learn more, we'll include that video. And of course, in that video, they have things like the links and places where you can leave comments and the like. So again, first and foremost, it's not to sway your opinion. It is about information and to inform you. And there you have it. So we'll leave net neutrality there. Again, it's something we've talked about at length here on the show before. And just one more reminder, this is, it does not end today. It is not over after today. This is just probably the best day to get, informed. So there you have it. Now, getting back to Sandy Berger and getting back to, what she's been doing, what she's been reviewing. So for everyone out there who maybe is not as familiar with Sandy Berger as we are here on Computer America, she writes reviews, and they're totally unbiased. They're totally free of consequence, I assume. But no, and we definitely enjoy talking about the products that she has had a chance to physically get her hands on and try. And by the way, this is probably one of the coolest ones because, we've talked about with you, Sandy, we've talked about speakers, we've talked about phones, and, that's all well and good, but, the Amazon Look, this is offering some really kooky technology. I mean, in this article you have here from Hardware Secrets, you actually show pictures of you trying on, clothing from Amazon, like from a website. This is cool stuff.
It is unique. I mean, this is a unique device, and yet it's built on the Amazon Echo. So it is called Amazon Echo Look. And the reason, of course, it's a look is because it takes pictures that you can look at, and it looks at you. It's a little different looking than the Amazon Echo, where the Amazon Echo is tall and cylindrical.
Mm-hmm.
This actually is tall but not cylindrical. It's got a little base, and it's kind of shaped like a big bean, if you will. So it's taller than it is wide, and it's got cameras. Again, does everything that the Amazon Echo does. So you can play music, it can tell you jokes, it can answer questions, all that stuff it can do. But what its main thing that it does is it takes pictures of you, kind of like a selfie device, because you can stand back away from this, though, and you're posing for the picture. Then the one thing that's really neat about it is it takes fabulous pictures.
Oh, yeah?
If you look at the pictures in the article, if you look at Hardware Secrets article, you will see that I'm standing back about 5 feet away, and so it takes a full body picture,
Mm-hmm.
and it blurs the background. So it gives you an in-depth feeling of the person's body coming out in front and being more prominent. And, there's nothing you have to do to focus it or anything like that. The most difficult thing about it is to find a place for it that's at the right level. It should be like right about shoulder level, and most of my furniture is either too high or too low for that.
Mm-hmm.
I wound up putting it on a bookshelf
In
in order to get it right.
Right. The camera doesn't pivot on because it comes with a little base and it's on a silver arm, but it doesn't pivot.
Right. The whole thing does pivot, and you
Okay.
can do that, like I said, but adjusting it is difficult. Adjusting it to the right height
Right.
is difficult. So you can pivot it, you can move it. One of my big complaints about it is that the cable that runs into it is in the middle of the device, in the back, and the device does pivot. But when you have the cable, and it's got a nice long cable, which is great, when you have that cable attached in the middle, you get it all set up and you let go of it, and the cable pulls it down on the side, or pulls it this way or pulls it that way. I actually wound up placing the thing on a bookcase and putting the cable in between the books so that it would be stable. And once you do that, once you find a place for it, that's probably where you want to keep it. Now, this is problematic for some because what if you have a husband and a wife who happen to be a foot difference in height?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have to move it around. If he's taking a picture or she's taking a picture. And the other thing about it is that the speakers are in the back. So although it plays music, first of all, the sound is not as good as the regular Echo. And secondly, if you put it against a shelf or something like that, like I had to do, you don't get the music the way you should. Now it comes with a thing that you can attach it so you can hang it on the wall and then adjust it that way,
Hmm.
which might solve the problem of different heights, but that creates more of a problem of the speakers not being heard from the back.
I mean, this is sounding a little complicated, but it's complicated for a reason because unlike a speaker, it's a full blown camera and it does some very specialized things. I mean, overall, do you think just average consumers would be able to handle this, or do you think your experience kind of helped
No,
you get the most out of it?
I think it's a little difficult to get it. When I say set it up with Amazon is not a problem, but set it in the right location and
Right.
it to be able to take the right picture. That's probably a one-time thing for most people. And what it does is it takes a picture. The idea is to take a picture of your outfit every day. Okay. So you get dressed in the morning and you go in front of the Amazon Echo and you say, Alexa, take my picture. She takes your picture, you see it immediately on your phone, and
Hmm.
you can see how you look. Now, you can actually do a 360-degree, you can turn around
Right.
and have her take you from all angles. The other really cool thing is that say say you're getting dressed and you've got a choice between two jackets. So you put one jacket on, take a picture, put the other jacket on, take a picture, and tell the Amazon Look to compare these two. It will not only compare them, it will tell you which one they think looks the best and is most up to date.
Hmm. And I mean that is very strange to me personally because because Amazon is so automated. Like they don't have people sitting there looking at your pictures and saying, "Oh yeah, we totally like that one better." I mean, this is all an algorithm, right? Like there's no
That's
other
right.
person looking at your photos.
Well, actually, they have it set up so that you can give your own opinion and other people can give their opinions, so it'll get better over time. But right now, it is by algorithms. So if it happens to be that pink is the in color this year, and you're comparing a pink and a green, it might tell you to wear the pink one just because it's the in color this year. But for the most part, I think since the algorithms are very complex, it does a pretty darn good job of selecting, and it will tell you by how much. So it actually says, okay, we recommend this outfit by 50%, or we recommend this outfit by only 5%. It's only 5% better than the other outfit you had on. It's very interesting. The idea is, again, you keep track of what you wear every day, making dressing easier. Now, I have to admit, a man would have to be particular about what he's wearing to be able to use this device. A woman, however, I mean, women always have this idea, the same thing of saying, gee, I'm going out with these people today, and I think that's what I wore last time I was out with them. I want to wear something different, but I
Hmm.
don't remember what I was wearing. This will help you remember what you are wearing. It will also, you can mark which ones you like better so that it gives you a corral of, shall we say, various outfits that you can choose from. So you don't have to go in your closet and scratch your head and say, what should I wear today? You can look back at the pictures and say, oh, yeah, I haven't worn that for a while, and that's a really great outfit. I'm going to wear that today.
I see.
It's for the fashionista.
Right, and of course, all of this is through an app on your phone because sorting through that many photos, like through like an online portal, that would be kind of troublesome. I mean, how's the app associated with the Echo Look?
The app is, the Echo Look has its own app, and you just go in there and you see all your pictures and you compare them. The app is very well done. I really enjoyed using the app. I thought it was great. Um, there's some problems with this as far as security goes because this is the first device that actually has a camera that's taking your picture.
Hmm.
Well, it's taking your picture, and although it's blurring the background, it is seeing the entire background. Matter of fact, there's a little check mark there that you can check to blur the background or not blur the background. So you're showing other people who might be viewing this, and you can keep it secure if you want to, but you're showing Amazon different areas of your house possibly, which you may or may not feel comfortable doing.
Right.
So Amazon has not actually released this yet. It is still in beta. You can buy one if you want to, because that's how Amazon does their beta things. So you can buy it and try it and see if you like it. And it probably, when I say it's in beta, like I brought my first Amazon Echo when it was in beta, and the device did not change at all. It just, the idea is they have not released it to the public yet,
Right.
which means they're probably still making software changes on it.
Right, and yeah, that's common for a lot of companies, including things like Apple and Microsoft. But just the look itself, though, I mean, can you kind of expand on what you feel is Amazon's purpose for this? Because we've heard a lot of about augmented reality, and we know that one place where online retailing, it's made a lot of advancements in the recent years, where people are doing more and more shopping online. But one place where it kind of lags behind is the area of clothes shopping. People still like to go to the mall, try it on themselves, and try see how it looks on them.
Oh, Ben, you're so old-fashioned.
Really?
You're just so old-fashioned here. People are flocking to online things to buy clothes, and it amazes me too. It really does. But Amazon is about to overtake Macy's as the United States' biggest apparel wholesaler.
Really?
So Amazon is almost or pretty much equal right now to Macy's in the number of clothes that they sell. Amazon's no dummy, right?
Right.
They know that an item like this will help people buy more products from them, and that's the main point about it. Of course, they always want to help people. They want to help you with your wardrobe now, and maybe at some point, this will be better as all the Echoes do get better and better. So maybe at some point they're going to say, "Gee, that outfit would look great with this scarf. That outfit would look great if you just add this necklace," or something like that. Or they could also they are using these pictures. And they could actually use the pictures to sell you stuff. So they take a look at all the pictures that you've taken, and you're always in slacks. Say you're a woman and you're always wearing slacks. So they're going to try to sell you slacks rather than selling you a skirt. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a customized way of doing things. But there's a lot of potential here for Amazon.
Absolutely. That's the way that I'm kind of seeing it, is that either, they'll say, hey, that outfit would look great with this hat, and then they try to sell you a hat, or they're going to use some kind of augmented, reality technology, which, let's face it, all you need is a camera and the proper software, and they could, you could superimpose outfits from Amazon onto a picture of yourself so that you could see it before you even get it. So
exactly. So Amazon is always with every product that they put out like this has an eye toward the future.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they have plotted out, what their steps are that they're going to take with this product.
Right. So we have about 30 or 40 seconds left. So, I mean, when we come back from the break, is there any other feature that the Look really excels at, or is this strictly for, your wardrobe and your closet?
Well, like I said, it's a full-fledged Amazon Echo, so it can do a lot of things, answer questions, do this, do that. The one complaint I had about it is on the back, there is a button that you can turn off the camera, but that also turns off the microphone.
Oh.
So one button turns off the whole machine. That makes it unusable as an Echo. I would really like the ability to just turn the camera off and leave the microphone on if I so wanted to do that.
I guess there are some very simple solutions that, of course, would be very low tech, like, putting a sticky note over the camera or facing it towards the wall. But hey, you're right, it should have that feature. But hey, everyone, music means we have to take a break. We'll be right back with Sandy Berger, Compukiss.com, as well as Hardware Secrets, and we're talking about the Amazon Look review that she just published. So, we'll be right back. More Computer America just after this.
We are all Brother Wolf. 10 years ago, a group of locals banded together to create positive change. We took animals into our homes, held adoption events at local retailers, and talked to the community about our mission to help build a no-kill Asheville. A decade later, we have achieved so many victories for animals in need. There's been so much progress, yet there's still so much to do. As part of our year-long celebration, we encourage you to become a member of our special Compassionate Circle program. With a monthly donation of $10 or more, you will have behind-the-scenes access to the work we are doing at Brother Wolf. Our goal is to reach 1,000 members because we receive no government funding. Working together, we can help build and sustain no-kill communities. Learn more at compassionatecircle.bwar.org. We are a 501c3 tax-deductible organization.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 31 minutes past the hour as we continue on here. And we're talking with Sandy Berger, and we're talking about the Amazon Echo Look device. This is a camera. I was about to say wireless camera, but there is indeed a wire, as we've mentioned before. But it's and I could have sworn I had seen this kind of technology before, and I was just checking out the Amazon site. And yes, the Intel RealSense camera, that's the same technology that they tried to put into laptops so that you could just open up your laptop and the camera would come on and it would sense your face and it would be able to unlock itself based on the person. So using that same kind of technology. And your experience with it, it sounds like it was interesting to say the least. Obviously, certain kinds of people are going to be more attracted to
Right.
what exactly it does. Did your husband try it at all, or did you get any other experiences personal?
He had no interest in it at all.
Okay.
However, everyone that came and saw it wanted to have their picture taken, whether it was my granddaughter or my sister or whoever. They wanted to come and have the picture taken and see how they looked. So yes, and I had women who said, "Boy, I'd love to have that because I never know what I want to wear, and it could really be helpful, and et cetera, et cetera." So I think it will have a clientele, but I think it will be narrower than all of Amazon Echoes. The people that might be drawn to it will be a little narrower. However, as they improve this thing and it gets better and better, and they add new things, then it might appeal to more people. And it's one of these items that I think you have to watch and see.
Right. I mean, it's not hard to imagine different uses for this because, like you mentioned, this is one of the first devices that Amazon has introduced that does have a camera. A lot of the products in the Echo line simply have microphones. They have microphones and speakers. This one has a camera, and as well as the next product we're going to talk about, the Echo Show. But it's not hard to imagine that for things like online meetings or Skype calls or just any other number of uses that could require a camera, this is I think this is a better entry point for an Amazon product with a camera. So, but obviously it's not being marketed that way. It's being marketed, like you said, towards the fashion line. So, the only fault you found with it was, of course, the cord being a little unwieldy, and the button that turns off the camera turns off the microphone as well. That about it?
No, the other big thing really was the sound. It doesn't have the sound quality is not something you want to use for music, which is basically what I used my Echo a lot for. So if you're going to use the Echo for music, the show is not. I mean, the look is not what you want.
Well, and that's a pretty big, not to undersell that, but that's a pretty big selling point for the Echo line is that you have your main Echo unit in the main room, and then you have dots spread out around the house, and maybe a look
Right.
here and there. Like you kind of daisy chain them so that you can play music throughout the house or in different parts of your house, right?
No, no, unfortunately, that's the one thing you can't do with the
That's
Amazon
that's
Echoes.
Google. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yes, Google, you can do whole house audio and it's fabulous. I absolutely love it. My Google Home plays music for me all the time. Um, but you can't do that with Amazon. Now, I don't know if they can't add it or they will be adding that later. Um, but right now you can't do that. So
Right.
you
So
can
yeah.
you can play music, different music on different devices, different echoes, but you can't synchronize it.
Right. Okay. So that's more of a fault with the entire ecosystem, but
Right.
ecosystem. Wow, I just got that. But
You
but
got
at the
that.
same time, this seems like a very unique product, and obviously it's going to have its niche. But hey, we said the same thing about the Echo Base unit, that
Right.
people who are only interested in checking their doorbell or doing this, that, or the other, and here we are, 2 years later, and it does so many more things now.
Right, exactly. And one thing we should mention is that the Echo Look is available right now through invitation only. So you just go online and you say, I want an invitation. And within hopefully a short period of time, you'll get an invitation to purchase one. And they're selling for about $200.
Right. 199
Yep,
99. I'm not sure if they were on sale for the Prime Day, but
they were not
oh, okay, there we go. Well,
be-
obviously invitation
because you
only,
have to
right?
have an invitation, right?
Right. So yeah, there you have it. It's but not too shabby at any rate. But it's going to be just something that certain people are definitely going to want to gravitate towards. Which I think our next product though is going to have a bit more mass appeal because it has, I think, very obvious. Very obvious implications. So, if you don't mind, and everyone, by the way, the link to the full review over at Hardware Secrets, we have a link to that in the show notes, computeramerica.com. But if nothing else, I think we should move on to the Echo Show, which is a bit different.
Right. The Echo Show is the latest and greatest thing from Amazon that is available to the general public right now. Um, and what it is, it's an Echo with a full-sized touchscreen. Well, full-sized, I say 7-inch touchscreen
Mm-hmm.
and a camera. So those two things add a lot of capabilities to the Echo device. Other than that, we should say the Echo Show is a full-fledged Echo. So it plays music, it does everything that the other Echoes do.
Right.
hmm Oh,
So
I also wanted to say, Ben, that during the break, I did go ahead and look at Amazon, and they still have the Echo Dot for $35. As far as I can tell, though, to get that price, you have to order it from an Echo device. So if you have another Echo and you want a $35 one, you can still get that right now as we speak.
oh,
Um,
that's how they get you.
yeah, but if you have a friend, if you want one and you have a friend that has an Echo, they can order it for you and get it for $35. So it's a good bargain.
Right. It's I mean the Prime deal. If you really wanted to, and let's face it, next to Google, there are probably very few companies that can put out the word quite like Amazon because they have so much
Right.
traffic. So
Right.
I don't even feel guilty about not really mentioning it because let's face it, I think everyone who needed to hear about it, they heard about it through other means. So,
Probably.
but yeah, so the Echo Dot, this thing, the Echo Show obviously works with all the other ones, but again, like I think the main points of the show though is the 7-inch kind of built-in tablet. Let's be real here, the 7-inch built-in tablet, it is meant to show you things, show you videos and things like that, and I'm not sure of your experience with this device, but Amazon seems to, in a lot of their product placements, like sometimes they put it on the nightstand and a lot of times they put it in the kitchen. What do you think someone would kind of get the most use out of? Is this a cooking assistant? Is this an alarm clock?
The show is a cooking assistant. It can be an intercom, which we'll get into later. But It's really different. I mean, I was amazed when they came out with the show because I was expecting something futuristic looking. It is far from futuristic looking.
Right.
If you have a device right now and you can go online and see the looks of it, it's a 7-inch screen surrounded by a big bezel, comes in black or white. But in either case, it's like a triangle that's heavy and it sits on your um, desk or wherever you want to put it. But it's a boxy design. It's got big bezels and it looks like an old phone or an old device. It doesn't look like anything
Very,
futuristic at all.
very functional, I think, would be the nice way to put it.
In a way, yes, it is very functional. Um, the problem, though, because it has no adjustments on the screen height, so it's made to be put on an end table or say something in a living room or a nightstand. You can put it on a kitchen cabinet and still see it very well. But if you're standing up, you can't adjust it. Say you're in the living room and you're standing up, you have to actually sit down to see the screen. You can't really adjust it unless you're far enough away to be able to see it. I would love to see it have had some sort of adjustment on the screen,
I
so
mean,
that you could.
if you put it in, in this big bulky case, I mean, you think that the least they could do is maybe make the screen pivot within the case, just
Exactly.
push it back and forward. So,
Exactly.
but how are the speakers? Because even if you can't see it, and again that is half of the device, you did mention that it functions as a complete Echo unit. So the speakers obviously have to be very, very good.
The speakers are excellent. As a matter of fact, when I compared the Echo, my standard Echo,
Mhm.
the Echo Dot, you can't compare because you're playing that. If you want good music, you're playing it through another device. So that does not have good speakers. But the regular Echo and the Google Home and the Google Show, when I compared the three together, everyone who listened agreed that the Echo Show sounded the best.
So that stupid design has a purpose. There you go.
Yes, it does have a purpose, especially if you use it for music, for streaming music. It has a more depth to the music, has more depth to it, and it has more bass to it. So you're actually hearing some things in the music that you don't hear on the Echo or even the Google. And so I rate them to my ears. The Echo is number one. Even better is the Amazon Home, and better than that is the Echo Show.
And that, of course, plays a role in again, a lot of the product placement, they kind of put it either in the kitchen. So if you have maybe a cooking instruction video, then they will of course play that. If it's your nightstand and you want it to play like the news when you first wake up, it can play that. I mean, audio is a big part of this, or as much part of this as the video is. But you did mention things like intercoms, and I think we're also going to talk about how it functions as, I think it's a Skype unit, right? Like you can Skype and talk with other people?
It functions like a Skype unit, yes. I should say it has an array of eight different microphones in it, and that has noise cancellation. So its ears are very good too. It hears you when you talk. Now, it being like a Skype thing, what it is you can call, it's called drop-in. And there's been a lot of negative coverage on this feature already, because you can drop in on anybody, not anybody. You have to have permission.
Right.
However, you can drop in and see them immediately, see what they're doing. It only works from Echo to Echo or Echo to the Amazon Echo app on your phone. So it doesn't work through regular phones. In other words, you can't call grandma. You can only call grandma if she has an Echo device or Amazon Echo on her phone.
Why do you think Amazon would go with something proprietary like this instead of trying to, because building up an ecosystem such as Skype, such as Facebook, one of these large connected ecosystems, that's much harder. Why do you think Amazon decided to go on their own with this?
Maybe because what you said, the other way is much harder. But Google Home has already announced that they are having this calling to other devices and to other numbers. So from Google Home, and they're starting to implement that right now. They're sending it out to various devices as we speak. You are going to be able to call anybody. With Amazon, you can't. With the Echo, you cannot. You're stuck to the ecosystem. And I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing. It again depends on what you want to use it for. So when I said that it can be used between rooms in your house. So they're selling, the Amazon Show is $229, but they're selling get $100 off if you buy two. Because the idea really here is to buy two. So you have one in the kids' room, or you have one at home in your kitchen, or you have one in your home and you have one in grandma's home or great grandma's home. Great device for watching some older people. You can hook up cameras to it so you can see what's on the camera. And for kids, baby monitors and all that. Just having the video is amazing how much it adds to what you can do with the device.
I can definitely see where things like baby monitors very, very important, or caregiving and things like that. And also because it is a full-fledged device, I'm assuming that everything that would work with the normal Echo in terms of recipes, if this and that, connected devices like lighting and doorbells. I mean, all of that works
all that
as well.
works just as well as the regular Amazon Echo. Everything works just like that. This is actually better because it gives you a video thing. You can see. So if you're in the kitchen and you're doing a recipe, you can see the recipe. It's a touch screen, so you can scroll the recipe. You can scroll up or down, or tell the Echo to scroll up or down, and it's better for recipes. You can actually ask it to play YouTube videos.
Right.
And you can ask it to play Amazon videos. And there's no doubt that pretty soon they're going to put in Netflix and other things like that you'll be able to show on it. But it's kind of cool. You don't have to turn the TV on. You don't have to pick up your computer or your tablet or anything. You just go there and say, show it to me, and they'll show it to you.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you're like me or not, but I love having white noise on in the background, and one of my favorite is Netflix. Just put something on and just have it play in the background, and this sounds like it would obviously scratch that itch very, very well.
No problem.
and I mean, I have to ask you though, it's obviously no one is going to rave about the design of this thing. I think at the same time, 7-inch screens, I mean, I think iPhone, like, to put that into perspective, like the iPhone, the Plus line, the 6 Plus, 7 Plus, I think those are like 5.5-inch screens, whereas like the normal iPhones are 4.6 or something like that screens. I mean, this thing is like one step up above a Plus screen. Do you think that they can improve that? Because like this is the first time I've seen an Amazon product and went, I wonder what the second generation of this device is going to look like. I didn't think that about the Echo, about the Dot, about the look, but this one I'm kind of curious about how they can make it better.
What comes next? Yes. Well, the 7-inch screen, first of all, it's a color touch screen, and it's 1024 by 600. So the resolution is nothing like you're used to on your phones if you've got a good phone, but it is adequate for what you use it for. So usually you're across the room, you're watching it, or you're not right on top of it as you are with your cell phone. The same with the 5-megapixel camera. It picks up pictures that are just fine, but it's nothing to write home about. But it's adequate for this device. Could the screen be a little bigger? Yes. A 9-inch screen would make it better. But obviously, they had to keep within their pricing parameters to be competitive with Google Home and other devices that might be coming out, and there's a lot of them coming out shortly.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, if this thing, I think, had the specs that that we would kind of hope something like this would have, then you're looking at something akin to, let's say, a $600 iPad with decent Bluetooth speakers attached into the same device. But because they're able, because all of the specs are, they're just fine. This thing isn't even 802.11 AC. It's still on the BGN spectrum, which is previous generation. Like, it's previous generation everything, but it seems like it gets the job done.
Yes, exactly. It gets the job done, and that's a very, very good way of doing it. And they have included certain things, like it has a notification screen. So on your Echo, everything you want to do is done through your app on your phone. But this has a screen you just pull down from the top, and you can go into the settings, and you can do this and you can do that, change things right there on the thing. So it's a little bit like a tablet, which is really kind of cool the way they've done that. So they've done some really nice things. This has the same problem with me as the Amazon Echo Look,
right?
Is that if you want to turn off the camera, you have to turn off the camera and the speaker, which negates the whole point of the device. Now, and you cannot even put a piece of tinfoil over the camera. You can't do that on this. You would have to turn it around if you don't want it taking pictures. Now, a lot of people are saying that it's taking pictures all the time, and that's not true. It's not. It can't be that they're taking pictures all the time. But I have not heard that from Amazon. So, there's 6 of one, half dozen of the other as far as the security of this thing.
Right. The security but at the same time, whenever I think about how secure are these things, because like you said with the Look, we are starting to put these things in our home. We are, if you're really invested in this, if you really believe in this, soon your home is going to have a microphone in every room and a camera in common areas, and to a lot of people, go ahead.
And we had that a long time ago when we had whole house intercoms. Not the camera thing, but the audio where you could talk to each other over the intercom. And people had that when they had very spacious homes. That was a necessity that they had that. Well, that's what this is providing for you. So if you enable this drop-in feature, and you don't have to enable it, but if you do, then you can talk from one room to the other for other Amazon Echoes. Now, I don't have 2 shows. I only have 1 show. But I have an Echo Dot and I have a regular Echo.
Mm-hmm.
And I can use those in different rooms of the houses with the drop-in just to talk back and forth. So it is like an intercom.
Right. But I mean, that is very true. But at the same time, I think the thing that separates that from the traditional intercom is the fact that this is an internet connected device. And so I think the point that I was going to make there was that, it's very true. This is, your home is going to be wired up and connected to Amazon Web Services. But, I mean, so many large corporations, so many small businesses, like, yes, you need to be worried about security. Yes, no company is immune from hacking and compromising and things like that. But at the same time, it's not very much on the consumer's mind, but Amazon Web Services have almost displaced every other web service out there.
That's right.
They're
That's
huge.
Right. Huge. Exactly. And it is somewhat intrusive. There's no doubt about it. Having a video camera in your home is intrusive, especially when it's one that can turn on automatically. Now, again, you have to enable that. But if I enable it and my aunt enables it in hers, I can drop in on her anytime. She'll get a notification that I'm trying to look at what she's doing, but she can turn it off or not accept the call. But if she lets it go, then I will be able to see what's happening in her house.
Right. But at the same time, that gives you a lot of different features. It's that thing where If you want convenience, if you want connectivity, you give up, of course, privacy and that kind of thing. So, but at the same time, Amazon is kind of like Google. They're not really in it to stalk the individual. They're there to collect information, collect data, to better improve the experience of all their devices. Whether you find that intrusive or not, it's like, I think most people find it intrusive, but at the same time, we all appreciate the convenience that services such as Google or Amazon give us. So
exactly. And once you get in bed on a cold night and you're able to say, "Okay, Alexa, turn all the lights off," and you don't have to step 1 inch out of your out from under the blanket. You realize that these things are a big convenience, and you get used to that convenience. For instance, right now, both Google Home and my Amazon Alexa can turn the TV on. And so my husband and I don't even reach for the remote anymore. Alexa does that particular thing better. So we say, "Alexa, turn the television on. Alexa, turn the Blu-ray player on." And she does it. And it's so convenient that you get hooked on it very easily.
Yeah, there is a future where if you set your home up correctly, you can, before even getting out of bed, you could say, "Alexa, turn on the coffee maker. Alexa, turn on the lights to the living room, and Alexa, order me an Uber." And all of that happens without you moving. It's an exciting future, but again, one that we have to, I think, show at least a little bit of caution. You can't just jump in head first, but still at the same time cool. So about the specifics of it, I mean, was it kind of hard to set up? I mean, did this pair nicely with the other devices?
Very easy to set up. And talking about pairing, this does have Bluetooth.
Okay.
Which the regular Amazon Echo does not have. So you can play music from your phone to the show, or from the show to your phone, that sort of thing. Again, it doesn't synchronize, so it won't play in 2 places at once. But it's got some really nice features that you might be amazed at. And once you're, it does lyrics.
Oh yeah.
If you have to do the Prime Music thing, but if you do the Prime Music, that's a subscription. But if you do that, it will give you lyrics to the songs that it plays, which is kind of cool.
So karaoke night, Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Amazon, the show karaoke.
Exactly. And no, it really does sound like a cool device. I think, though, this does come in at the, this is their highest end product, but credit to Amazon. I think they, we've said things about Apple, about Microsoft over the years, and with Amazon getting into the hardware game more, like, they're one of the few companies that I don't think I've ever thought to myself, what are they doing selling this product at this price point? It's outrageous. No one wants, insert $900 tablet. They're really sticking, even though this is the highest priced item in this lineup, it's still just $230.
Right, exactly. They're doing it very well, and that's why it's going to be so interesting to watch Apple when they come out with their home device, which right away is going to be priced higher. But are they actually going to be able to beat all these things to make the price worthwhile?
And criticism falls so deftly on a company that has the cash reserves that Apple does. Telling Apple that they're doing something wrong is so counterintuitive to Apple. But like, I really feel like the Apple Home that they recently announced, and that they're trying to push out, it has so many less features than a cheaper product such as Google or Amazon has already put out. It's not hard to say that Apple is behind the ball at this point.
Oh, they definitely are, but it'll be very interesting to see what they actually come out with. In other words, can they come out with something that takes everything the Echo Show
90
does
seconds.
and make it better?
Right. So, and the music means that we are just about out of time. Sandy, this hour flew on by. I want to thank you so much for coming on. And everyone, again, Compukiss.com, hardware secrets, and links in the show notes. So, Sandy, what should everyone keep an eye out for you? Any more reviews coming up?
Oh, we've got a lot more reviews coming up as usual. I've got a stack of products here, so we'll be on the show here next month. And in the meantime,
60
go to
seconds.
the Compukiss website and see what's new.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And everyone, Sandy Berger, Computer America correspondent for consumer electronics, and of course, just an all-around great person to have on the show. So, everyone, the music means we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us here on Computer America. Again, we'll have a link to the net neutrality video in the show notes. Check that out. And hey, leave a comment to the FCC if you so choose. But everyone, until tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Ten seconds.